So the reason people buy Bitcoin is the same reason I buy this and I buy this, is I don't trust this. It's the same reason. I want to say one last thing. I mean, these academic geniuses like Bernanke, the PhDs from academia, he destroyed our economy. Bernanke destroyed our economy by dropping interest rates so low and printing money. Now we're the biggest debtor nation in world history, and they give him the Nobel Prize. What is wrong with our country?
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have American entrepreneur and investor Robert Kiyosaki giving us his thoughts on Bitcoin and the growing concerns surrounding the economy due to the devaluation of the dollar. Kiyosaki warns of the danger of fake money and believes that the American empire is coming to an end. He advises against investing in anything that can easily be printed and says we now have a massive problem with the deficits in 401ks and retirement funds, and the decline in the economy is becoming more severe. Kiyosaki says there is also a giant space between the actual economy and the market, and because the S&P so closely follows cryptocurrency, more and more people will start to buy Bitcoin. With the government currently borrowing more than they are taxing, the economy isn't making enough to pay for itself. Let's listen to Robert Kiyosaki as he gives his take on the current state of the economy and what we can expect next for Bitcoin and the crypto market. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content we do here. Let's get right into the video.
Anybody who's watched Kitco knows that America became the power in 1944 with the Bretton Woods Agreement. And then this dollar became the reserve currency of the world. In other words, the dollar was as good as gold. That's all changed. And today we're in serious trouble globally, and I'm very concerned. The end of the American empire is here. The message I want everybody to hear is the world is finding out that this is fake. It's not fiat, it's fake. And so the reason I don't get invited to CNBC anymore is because when I'm on there, I say I do not invest in anything that can be printed. You can print this. You buy a house, it goes up. You put your money in the stock market, it goes up. So the boomers have only known boom. They caused it. Do you know what I mean? But now as the boomers retire, the baby bust sits in. And that's my warning to all the boomers. In 1974, the 401k was created.
Yeah.
And the stock market went through the roof. And the reason they put money into the stock market, because my generation's parents, my mom and dad, didn't trust the stock market because the market crashed in 29.
Right.
So they had to find a way, Wall Street did, to get my generation, the boomers, into the stock market. So they created, voila,
The 401k.
The 401k.
They stopped the traditional pension from most
Correct.
companies.
Correct.
And created 401ks.
Correct.
Where companies
You got it.
contribute
And the
to
stock
match
market went up,
contribution.
real estate went up, and now the bust has started. I don't write or talk about things I don't do.
Yeah.
So like this guy Biden, I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I don't listen to what politicians say, I watch what they do. So as soon as Biden got elected, his first act was to take off the Keystone XL pipeline. So I sell oil. I have oil wells, I have real estate, I have gold mines because I'm an entrepreneur. The price of oil went from $30 a barrel when Biden came in, to $130 a barrel. Inflation went through the roof. And then Biden and the family, they work for the Ukraine, Russia, and China. They say, well, the oil companies are greedy. Well, he cut off our oil. Civilization runs on oil. So when he took out the Keystone XL pipeline, inflation went through the roof, and this is the real problem. The middle class came down. You see, when you raise inflation, you're pumping gas in your SUV, your mom and pop, you got two incomes making $100K a year, but gas goes from what to what? He caused, or his group caused, the inflation.
Kiyosaki shares his thoughts on investment in Bitcoin, describing it as one of the only sustainable currencies. He doesn't trust the traditional financial system and blames academics like Bernanke for causing economic problems with low interest rates and excess money printing. He also questions the education system and why they don't teach about important financial topics like the history of the world's reserve currency.
In financial education, there's fundamental trading and technical. Technical is the up and down. So when I saw Bitcoin go to 20,000, I don't know when it was, then it dropped down to $1, so it's toast. But then it came roaring back. So when it hit 6,000, I bought 60 Bitcoin at 6,000. I think today it's at 20,000.
So, yeah, it's around about 21,000.
Yeah, but
today.
so the more I'm in it, the more I realize it has sustainability. So the reason people buy Bitcoin is the same reason I buy this and I buy this, is I don't trust this. It's the same reason. I want to say one last thing. I mean, these academic geniuses like Bernanke, the PhDs from academia, he destroyed our economy. Bernanke destroyed our economy by dropping interest rates so low and printing money. Now we're the biggest debtor nation in world history, and they give him the Nobel Prize. What is wrong with our country? What is wrong with us? And we're supposed to be the reserve currency of the world after 1944. Why don't we teach kids that? Why don't we teach them it's a 1619 project which changes history? Why is our education system so corrupt? But that's the story of rich dad, poor dad. My poor dad, PhD from Stanford, Northwestern, Chicago. He knew nothing about money. My rich dad never went to college, but he did know this was real and this is not real. Well, as a Marine Corps pilot, I've killed a lot of people. And so what I see going on in Ukraine, my heart bleeds. I feel for the women and children more than the soldiers. But I'm so old, like I started buying this 60 years ago. But even before that, in 1962, I believe, I grew up on the island of Hawaii, the Big Island. And I saw an atomic bomb go off. So there was Christmas Island south of us. And my family are watching television. I'm probably 14 or 15 years old. And I see this flash go through the house. I went, what's that? What was that? What it was Christmas Island detonating a small bomb.
As a test.
Yeah, that's how they tested the weapons. And so my family, we turn off Johnny Carson or whatever it was, and we go to the window, and the paper described it exactly. It said it looked like somebody poured blood in the sky. So when Rickards is talking about possibility of nuclear war and all that, I think the reason it's easy to talk about it is you haven't seen it. Like most people haven't anybody. When you see that, I'm anti-war now. It's horrible. It was horrible what we had to do. And I felt for the troops when we got spit on when we got back from Vietnam. Anyway, so when the paper says it looks like blood was poured in the sky, so when people just casually toss around, oh, it's a possibility of a nuclear war, they don't know what they're talking about. I am a U.S. Marine. I'm a ring knocker. It means I went to the academy. Yeah, I'm as hardcore military as it become. I do not like where we're going. We're cruising for war to end the problem of this year, just because of fake money. There's one more thing, is today they talk about homelessness. It's exploding. And people say it's because they're on drugs or they're mentally deranged. But there's a whole classification of homeless who are working homeless. Because this is so abundant, they can't afford a house. So they're working, they live in their cars with their kids and all this. They're not drug dealers, they're honest, hardworking people. But the more they pervert this, which started in 1971, when Nixon took this, which is gold, off the gold standard, this became fake money. And fake money, like the Weimar Republic in Germany and all this, has always led to war and depression.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. And that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I said, why don't our schools teach us about money? Why don't they teach us in 1964, President Johnson took this off the gold standard. Why don't they teach us in 71, Nixon took this off the gold standard? That's more important than critical race theory.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's garbage what they're teaching kids.
Kiyosaki expresses concern about the sustainability of the economy and the dangers of fake money, which has even become a huge problem for the hardworking homeless as well. Kiyosaki says that one of the biggest problems we face is the enormous financial gap between the rich and the poor, and says the rigged financial system will eventually give way to such massive inflation that the economy will collapse. What do you guys think about Robert Kiyosaki's take on the condition of the financial market and his take on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.